Hello and welcome to the Bamboo Brief. The market doesn't wait for the opening bell, and neither do we. So today, we're jumping right in to break down the stocks making major moves before anyone else, and we're going to figure out exactly why. Our whole mission here is to cut through all that noise and give you the clear, positive financial insights you need to really feel confident on your investment journey. So let's get right to it. So, what's really moving the needle out there this morning? We're about to dig into some blockbuster deals, a few surprising government moves, and the key corporate news that are setting the whole tone for today's trading. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to start with the massive deals in the tech and space worlds. Then we'll look at the government's pretty surprising impact. After that, we'll dive into some specific company news. And we'll wrap it all up with how you can turn all this info into action. First up, innovation is absolutely the name of the game right now. We are seeing some incredible partnerships in tech and space that are creating a serious amount of buzz and, more importantly, driving some pretty significant value before the market even opens. Kicking things off, get this. AST SpaceMobile just signed a groundbreaking deal with Verizon. They're going to provide cell service directly from satellites starting in 2026. Just think about that for a second. This is a huge step toward getting rid of dead zones for good. And how did the market react? With a massive 11% surge in pre-market trading. It's just a perfect example of how one single strategic deal can completely change how investors feel about a company, literally overnight. And the momentum in the space sector just keeps on going with Rocket Lab. They've just locked in a new contract for 3 more launches. That's a crystal clear sign that people are really starting to trust their technology. And yep, you guessed it, investors are definitely taking notice. The stock climbed a really solid 6% right after the announcement, which shows a ton of confidence in where the company is headed. And this whole theme of partnerships driving growth, well, it's playing out all across the tech world. You've got Figma up 2% after integrating with OpenAI's ChatGPT, and even NVIDIA is up almost 1% on reports it's part of xAI's massive $20 billion fundraise. All right, let's switch gears a little. From private company deals, we're now going to focus on just how much influence the public sector can have. Government policies, direct investments, and even just simple speculation are creating some huge waves this morning. Now, this is a really big one. The White House is actually taking a 10% stake in a Canadian minerals explorer called Trilogy Metals. Now, this isn't just a simple investment. It's a really strategic play to secure critical resources. The stock jumped 8% this morning, which is already pretty impressive. But what's absolutely staggering is that this is coming right after a 200% surge the day before. It just goes to show you the incredible power that a government endorsement can have. And this one move has created ripples everywhere. USA Rare Earth is up over 4% just on speculation of a similar deal. SoFi gained over 1% on news the government might sell its student loan portfolio. But, speculation can cut both ways. Just look at the metals company, which fell 3% after those deal rumors started to cool off. Okay, so let's zoom in now from the big government picture to what's actually happening inside the companies themselves. Things like analyst upgrades, raising capital, and some good old-fashioned competition are creating some of the biggest price swings we're seeing today. So, in a really fascinating competitive battle, Equifax stock rose over 2%. Why? Because they've priced their new VantageScore 4.0 at less than half the price of their rival, FICO. That is an aggressive move, and it looks like investors are rewarding them for it.
Now for the other side of that coin. The electric air taxi maker Joby Aviation saw its stock drop after it announced a new stock offering to raise more money. This is a really common situation, and it's important to understand why it happens.
The result was a pretty significant 11% drop. This really highlights a key dynamic in the market. While raising money is crucial for growth, these new stock offerings can dilute the value for people who already own shares, and that often causes the price to fall in the short term. But let's end this section on a high note. Ionis Pharmaceuticals jumped 2.5% this morning. This happened right after JP Morgan upgraded them to overweight, pointing to some really encouraging updates from the company. It's a classic case of an analyst's confidence giving the market a nice little boost. So we've seen it all, from space deals to government policy shaking up the pre-market. Now for what I think is the most important part. How do we take all this information and turn it into something we can actually act on? Let's just boil it down to 3 key things. First, big, bold partnerships in exciting sectors like tech and space can be incredibly powerful. Second, you can't deny the government's influence. It's absolutely worth watching. And third, the stuff that happens inside a company, from their strategy to what analysts are saying, really, truly matters.
So after seeing all this action, does it get you thinking? Does it inspire you to make your own next move, whether that's taking your very first step or maybe adding to a portfolio you already have?
If you're feeling ready to get started, the Bamboo app is a fantastic tool that makes investing super accessible and really straightforward. I've got a referral code down in the description that you can use to sign up and start your journey. And hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more briefs like this one. And please, drop a comment below. I'd love to know what stocks you're watching today. And that's all for today's pre-market breakdown. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bamboo Brief. We'll see you next time.